so we are back again with a new topic, the topic of flowcharts. So first I'm going to teach you how to get information given in pseudocode and to place it in the flowcharts. Now before we go to understanding how we can get information written in pseudocode and be putting them in flowcharts, we need to understand the shapes involved with the flowcharts. Alright, so the first shape that we have is the oval. Now what is the function of the oval? The oval is used whenever we are told to start or stop a program, or whenever we are told to begin or end. So in a pseudocode, when the mention starts, right? So in a pseudocode, when the mention starts, you know to say that the shape that is involved is an oval. If the mention stop, the shape involved is an oval. The mention begin, the shape involved is an oval. The mention end, the shape involved is an oval. Now the way I've paired the two is that when a program starts, it has to stop. Or when a program begins, it has to end. So you can't start, then at the end you say, then after you have finished writing the flowchart, you say end. At first you said start, then you come and say end. No. When you say start, you have to stop. When you say begin, you have to end. Then from there, we've got another interesting shape called a parallelogram. A parallelogram looks like a rectangle, but in that it has got tilted edges. The edges are a bit tilted like that. What do we use a parallelogram for? Whenever a program tells us to enter, we use the parallelogram. When a program tells us to display, we use the parallelogram. Whenever a program tells us to print, we use a parallelogram. Whenever a program tells us to output, we use a parallelogram. From there, we've got another shape called the rectangle. The only function of the rectangle is it is called the formula box. This is where you just place in a formula. So whatever formula you are told in a pseudocode, it has to be placed in the rectangle. Then one interesting shape is called the diamond. The diamond is called the decision box. Whenever you want to make a decision, you use the decision box called a diamond. Okay. Okay, so I've gotten this question directly from 2022 paper 2. So 2022 paper 2 mathematics. Alright, so they've told us to study the following pseudocode. So this is the pseudocode. So what they want us to do is to draw a corresponding flowchart. A corresponding flowchart. Right, so how do we draw the flowchart to this pseudocode? So you just check. Alright, so this is start here. Okay, so we said that whenever we are told to start, the shape used is the oval. So I'm going to draw my oval there. Okay, let me bring it a bit this side. I'm going to draw my oval there, and I'm going to say what I've been told, which is the start. So I'll place start inside the oval there. So every word that you are told here should be placed inside the shapes, should be written inside the shapes. So the next thing is enter. Enter, I was told to say I need to use a parallelogram. So I'll draw an arrow showing that this is a process that I'm taking. So I'm going to draw a parallelogram there. So after I've drawn a parallelogram, I'm going to also say I'm going to input whatever is here. So I'm going to say enter what? R, L. So when they tell you to enter, the first enter they tell you, or anytime they mention enter, get the same enter together with everything that they've put there. So here they've said enter R, L. So even as we are going to get exactly what is there, but the shape that we are using to input that data is a parallelogram. Then where they say if, so if is a decision that you need to make. Alright, so if R is greater than R, then, alright, so here when they say if, every time in the exam they mention if when you're given a pseudocode, you need to introduce a decision box. So you need to introduce your diamond there. Alright, what have they said? If R is less than R. Alright, so the only thing that changes here is this. If in the decision box becomes is. So as you can see, start, all we are doing is introducing a shape and we put start inside, enter R, L, we are just introducing a parallelogram and putting whatever they've said here inside the shape. If R is less than R. Also, as you are going to get whatever is here and put it in the decision box. But the only thing that changes is if. If in the decision box becomes is, and we are going to say is small letter r bigger than capital letter R. So this is a question, you put a question mark. Alright. When they say then means yes. So whenever they mention to say then, you draw an arrow going to your right hand side, alright, and you put yes. Whenever they mention then, just draw an arrow going outside to your right hand side and put yes. And then we check what are they saying? Print. So print, we are using a parallelogram. So we are going to print. So print means we are putting in a parallelogram. So print, I'm getting everything here the way it is and putting it in the parallelogram. So print, okay, error, the value of R is not valid. Like that. So I'm also getting it the way it is, putting it in there. When they say else means no. Alright, so you draw an arrow coming down, else means no. You check, what have they told you after they've said else? When they bring in a formula after saying else, it means that you are bringing in your rectangle. So the rectangle always has to do with the formula. So you bring in your rectangle and you write the formula the way it is. So you say S is equal to pi star open brackets R plus R then star and L. Alright, and if has got no shape for it, so we just leave it the way it is. We come to print. Printing again is a parallelogram. So we bring another arrow down there. Okay, so we say print. So we're also going to say print S in here. So it's all about just knowing which shape am I using when they say this, and you get whatever they've said and put it in that shape. What have they said now? Stop. So stop means I'm using my oval again. So I'll draw an oval there and I'll put in stop like that. Okay.